From time immemorial, there were only two words that mattered to every great sword user. Two words that would encapsulate the core of this best weapon. Just two. The crit draw style was all. It was everything. It was the way. And that way has been lost. But no longer, for it has risen like a phoenix from the ashes, stronger than ever. And now, we shall reclaim it. Together.
Hello, my fellow hunters. Oh, yes, and indeed, very specifically, hello, my fellow greatsword enthusiasts. Or to, of course, use the traditional Latin term, Sordicus Maximicus Besticus Ahaticus.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that was.
I want to bring you then today something that finally, out of all of Rise and Sunbreak, finally is actually not just viable, but genuinely really ridiculously good. Crit Draw is not only back, but it has risen once more to be brutally powerful. Thanks to the combination of both Frostcraft and the ability to now reach a critical mass of skills, we can essentially have everything we could ever want to fuel this long-treasured, historic playstyle. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to outdo your Strongarming, but that said, as it always has been, there exists no greater damage output relative to ease of play, relative to safety of play in all of Monster Hunter. And as you're seeing it crush Mr. Basil with nearly 2,000 damage crit draws, you can see why. And if we head to the training arena, you can see why even more, as when everything works, when everything's all whipped up and firing, we can hit up to 2,400 with just a level 3 draw charge. That is absolutely silly in the most beautiful, best of ways. So then, let's get into what's making this happen. Of course, as you might imagine, we are wearing the 3 Frostcraft pieces, as plus 30% damage on all our draw attacks is definitely the key skill here, and then that is flanked by Geismagorn in both the head and the leg spot. Leg for dereliction and head because it is incredibly valuable for the skills that we are after, and it's super efficient. Our weapon of choice remains Scorned Magnamalo, except this time we put full attack augments, which gives us a monstrous 380 true raw greatsword to play with. And finally, talisman-wise, you're going to want anything that gives you plus 4 to the skills required here. In my case, I'm using a 3 crit eye and a 2 and 1 slot. The 1 slot not necessarily needed, it's just comfort space. So, at a baseline, as you can see, we have quite the, well, baseline for this crit door play. Crit door? Crit the door! For this crit draw play style, especially as the Velkhana pieces give us quick sheath, focus, and crit draw, all of which is fantastic for what we're achieving here. Of course, we do weave in dereliction, which means we weave in resentment, and you do kind of need to dereliction if you want this to compete with the strong arms of the world. Otherwise, it really is hard to justify, so if you hate dereliction, then this one might not be for you, but the value from those boots is just too great to ignore when all we need to pump here is our raw damage output. So, we do need to very specifically do some curious crafting. Just like with the best greatsword build in general for this update, we need all 3 Velkhana pieces to have build-up boost. That chance for an extra 20% damage on each attack, as we are using Scorned with the Blast, is too good to ignore. However, this means that we are dropping a quick sheath, we're dropping a critical draw, and we're dropping a focus, 1 per piece, in in order to make that happen. If you're super lucky and that's not happened, well then, that's really good, but for most it will require that trade. Now, level 3 focus and level 3 crit draw is needed for this set, which means the Geismagon helm and legs need to give you back 1 focus and 1 crit draw, which happened for me very quickly as the game doesn't consider either very valuable skills, so you've got a very good chance of rolling them, so that's the play here. All of that together then, if we decorate up the set, well, as you can see, it is glorious. Full attack, 100% affinity from 3 crit draw, 5 critical eye, and then 1 weakness exploit for that exact 100%. Max resentment, max crit boost, dereliction, and we even get to fit full punishing draw just to really cap it off with that, let's be honest, luxury skill. Doesn't add a lot of damage, though the couple KOs you'll get per hunt is nice, and tangentially the dereliction does increase your KO output too while you're in blue scroll, which of course we will be for the raw boost, so there is synergy there, which of course feels nice. We still have a bit of quick sheath for that comfort on power sheath, got the focus that we need, and generally everything comes together really nicely to create what is essentially the most potent crit draw set that there could be. All we'd really be missing is the space for like full agitator or something, but it's ultra luxury extra stuff. There's nothing that we're like, oh, if only we had. It's just all there, which is why we have reached this critical mass of goodness that actually lets you play like this without completely crippling yourself, and not just that, while actually excelling. It's such a safe way to take down threats such as Risen Crimson Glow, to carefully snipe in and out, and it's never really lost that sheen across every generation and every Monster Hunter game since the Great Sword got the ability to charge, and I'm really happy to have a very solid way to play like this again. It really does feel good. But of course, don't take my word for it when there's numbers that can be presented. Let's work out the actual EFR of these draw attacks. So, we have a 380 base weapon with the attack augments. Attack 7 gives us an extra 10, Punish Draw gives us an extra 7, Dereliction at rank 1, when we've got all 3 Curios, is an extra 25, and Resentment 5 is an extra 25. This then goes into the multipliers for 10% more from Attack 7, 30% more from Frostcraft, 39% more from Purple Sharpness, 40% more from critting all the time with 3 boost, and then Build Up Boost 3 is worth an extra 6.6% more damage. Which all put together then gives us a final EFR on the draw attacks of, and are you ready for this, 1,326, which, to put it in perspective, is actually about 60 more than the normal best greatsword build. Obviously, again, that doesn't make it more effective because Strongarm is just so powerful, but at the same time, for specifically draw attacks, this really is that good. So, if it's a style you've loved and have been missing or want to try, or just want something a little bit different from your greatswording, I cannot stress enough that now is finally the time to relive those crit draw heyday years of golden goodness. And, well, we'll see if it gets even better come Title Update 5. For now then, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.